We're ready for another wonderful lecture here. The last lecture of the day, and we hope that you're going to enjoy it. We have a wonderful woman, Esty. Oh, you know what? I should have asked. Yeah,
Taschereau.
Esty Taschereau. I'm not going to spell it for you though. Okay, so holding it together and holding your breath. That's her specialty. She also does havening, which is wonderful. There's a difference between something that takes your breath away and something that leaves you gasping for air. We're doing a lot of that these days. Esty works with value-driven problem solvers who are skilled at carrying responsibility, but struggle to maintain balance. For over 40 years, her work has blended intuitive, spirituality-based practices with modern neuroscience, and we're all doing neuroscience insights, and time-honored methods. Guided focus sessions supported our steady reconnection between clients' conscious direction and a deeper inner support, so they return to their own self-reliance. So, welcome, Esty.
Wow, so we return to our own self-reliance. I got goosebumps when I heard it. I've written it, I've read it, and not out loud, but that would be a good thing. But to hear someone else speak it, and that's the thing, is we're here for ourselves. We do a lot with others, but we're here for ourselves. And I'd like to offer you right now a moment that we can do something for ourselves. Anybody open for that?
Yes.
Okay. We've had a big day today, haven't we? Yes.
Yeah.
Has this day been fantastic?
Yeah.
Yes. And the thing is that with all of these topics that we've covered, we bring things up. We bring experiences up that we've had. We bring up things that we're working on and things that we'd like to work on, and even things that we don't even want to deal with and push those behind us. And let's just take a moment right now and just say hello to all of those things wherever they are within your system. Just say hello to those things and say, I'm listening and I'm here for you.
Beautiful.
And make an appointment, maybe tonight, when you're home safely and you're ready to listen and focus and release whatever it is that you're ready to do. Make an appointment with that part of you. And say thank you for holding on until our appointment time. We want to keep that appointment, right? So that I can give you my full attention. Anybody here ever want somebody to just listen and pay attention? Yes, we all want that. Well, guess what? You have the power to do that for yourself. Anytime you want, any day. And give yourself those things. So I'll give credit to someone who's one of my teachers now. Faith mentioned about Anthony, and she mentioned about the control program, and we were two of the people that were in this recent class, and it was great. And Tim Box, who is the person who developed and was kind enough to share this great program with all of us, he brought up this idea: make an appointment with yourself and keep that time, honor it. And so I'm sharing, yes, this is my source for that, and I take it a little deeper even, and I'm applying it in moments like this. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. That is not my, thank you very much. Glad to be here today. My talk here today is holding it together versus holding your breath. Now those sound like opposites, don't they? And it sounds like a conflict, putting that word versus in there. But those two have a lot in common. And they're not so different after all. We do a lot of things in our world and in our lives. And one of the great things about this world is that we have dichotomies, differences, opposites. We have that spectrum between light and dark, night and day. Everything, just about everything on this planet has to do with those opposites. And we have the spectrum. So when we're looking at, for example, holding it together, now we know that we've all had times when we have had to put some attention and maybe step up and work to hold things together. And we can do a really, really good job of it. Anybody here ever do a really good job holding things together? Yay! You make that commitment, you take those actions, and everything works out. And that's a beautiful, wonderful thing. I want everybody to just give a round of applause to yourself for making those things happen, doing those things, utilizing those skills. Yes, yes. But life's not perfect. And we have times when things don't work out the way that we had planned. Maybe they don't work out in our favor. Sometimes things happen that we didn't anticipate, and we compensate. Okay? Anybody ever have an injury? Like, let's say you injure your knee. I took my dog, I've got a big dog, big white dog, and I almost put a picture of she and I up there. And I walk her all the time. And we made a stop on a trip at one of the rest stops. And they have a dog area. And there was this great big dog, just maybe a year, just over a year old. That dog was about 120 pounds. And that dog was so excited that mine was there. Oh, yes, 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 yes. And we let them come together, say hi, and that little puppy, big puppy, was so excited that it swung itself around, just so excited to meet my dog, and smacked me right on the knee and pushed my knee back. And I thought, uh-oh, that didn't feel good. And I calmly said, okay, it's okay. You're fine. It's okay. And it was good for about 2 weeks, and then the pain started coming in. Now, here's the thing. We compensate as a natural thing that we do to take care of ourselves, right? We shift our energy and our focus to compensate and not put so much weight on that one knee that's not feeling good so it can have the chance to heal, right? We do things like we make it swell a little bit. We send the energy in to create almost like a cast and to slow things down in that area. Look at all these wonderful things that we do for ourselves. We compensate and we put the pressure on the other side. Now, what can happen as well is that we compensate and we don't have things set to go back to normal. Or for whatever reason, maybe it didn't heal quite right, maybe it's taking a long time, but we will have compensation happen that builds and becomes a pattern. becomes a part of our world. Well, that's just the way it is. That's compensation. Well, things will get better someday. Someday it will get better. We compensate. And we do it so that we can get through these things. We do it because we're committed. We do it for so many reasons. And we're willing to give up a part of ourselves to make things happen, to make things right. And sometimes we get lost in these things. And we don't know what to do to get back to the way things were. Or maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just getting things back in order so that we can grow, move forward, and put our energy and our attention on other things. The things that are important to us tomorrow and the next day. Now, our conscious mind has very little bandwidth. It's fabulous, and it's a very important part of us. That's where we make decisions. This is the way I want things. This is the direction I want to go with. That's my goal. We make decisions using that part of our brain. That's our logic, our reasoning. But there's the other part of our consciousness, the subconscious mind, that retains all that information and creates patterns to support us. It doesn't always get the memo when things should be changing and get that notification to be able to update things. Maybe not even knowing what do you want to update it to be now. It just keeps doing that job. And the great news is that your subconscious mind is that one thing, that one part that is always there for you and you and you. 24/7. Always there to support you and work with you. So there in that idea of putting things together, we have those opposites happening. And yes, we have times when everything works great and things move forward. And not only that, but they move forward in such a way that it takes so little effort. And we have those opposite times where we still move things forward, but it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot out of us. And we end up pushing other things in our life aside. Anybody ever have that one happen? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see hands shaking as I go, yes, I understand that well. It takes a lot of time and energy to do those things and to compensate. And maybe we have more than one of those things. Maybe we've got a collection of those things that we just for some reason, I don't know why, we say things like, why does it always happen that way? Why does this have to be so hard? I don't understand it. Why does this have to be so hard? Why me? It's because we have those ideas, those programs running in the background that are there to support us, are just not up to date. There are solutions to that. There are definitely solutions to that. But let's get back to that other side before we talk about these other things. And that's holding your breath. Well, you know what? I'd rather be holding it together than holding my breath, right? Is one of those better than the other? Not really. Let's talk about holding your breath. get that feeling, you tighten it, your muscles start tightening up. It's not just your breath, it's your whole body. Your mind fixates on that thing that's going on. And you feel exactly like that, like you're holding your breath. But here's something rather interesting about holding your breath. That part of you that's holding your breath also has the resources to release, reset, replenish, and carry forward. So let's all do a little exercise. I know we've done exercises here all day long. This one's going to be a very simple one. I'd like you to just go ahead, take a breath and hold it. Now you also have the ability to reset. And holding your breath for just a second is a great way. Release. Holding your breath is a great way to create a reset. To shift things just enough. And you get that reset. And you can replenish. Let's go ahead and take another deep breath. Hold it for 1, 2, 3. Release. And I'm going to do that. Nice deep release. Letting it go. Letting that oxygen out. All of it out. And you can utilize this as a metaphor as well. Giving the idea of it's okay. I can let go of this now. I can complete this now. And even if it's something that maybe you're not ready to release, I can release so much of this now. I can release what I'm ready to release right now. And maybe make an appointment to return to it and move forward. So here we have two things that seem to be opposite, but they're not really. Because they're all tied together. We live in a world that's action-oriented, that is learning experiences. We repeat things, but there's also new things that come into our lives all the time. And over time, we can, let's take that one out. It's not over time necessarily. Yeah, that could be one of the things. But we create sometimes situations where we push things aside. Or for whatever reason, something happens that is so much for our psyche to be able to handle that we step away from it. And all of a sudden, nobody can hear us. Maybe we get that feeling that we're little and we freeze. We have the ability, though. We have breath. And you can take that breath and reset and let it go. And how many times in 1 minute do you take a breath and exhale? How many times? Well, let's see. Let's add that up. How many minutes in an hour? How many hours in a day? How many times every single day do you have that opportunity? Well, what can we do? We can give ourselves permission to utilize that breath and create those changes. So, we get down to where we're at there. So holding our breath may look like something that's stuck or frozen. I know frozen well. I spent a long time in my life where I've been frozen. I've also stepped out of that and pushed myself into that danger zone and done things. I was talking to a couple of people here and telling them my experiences when I was in high school, where I stepped up and I played the piano and I sang. I had people there that walked closer and closer to hear me. They had to be right next to the piano to be able to hear my voice singing. I was a quiet one, surprisingly enough. Now, a while after that, I took a chance again. Then we're talking maybe a couple years later, still in high school. And I signed up to be at a showcase. So I could play the piano, I could sing, I could do a song in front of this audience. And just before the event was going to start, I got a chance to get up to the mic. Everybody had that chance. Get up to the mic, hear what it sounds like, get a feel for it, so that when you get up there, great support system in there. And I did that. I did my little test. And then I walked out to the outside of the room to the table where people were signing in. And I said, "How did that sound?" "Oh my God, that was you? That was you?" Things changed. Stepping out of that frozen state, we can change those things. And I'm sure we all have those examples, that things that you can call back into your memory and say, "Hey, I did that. And I call this difficult? That's nothing compared to the one that I did. This is nothing. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up here right now, and I'm going to talk to you about these things that we can change. We can move forward. We can live that life that we want to live. And that's a really fabulous thing. Because we're here to have these experiences. We're here to try on these different pieces and parts and express ourselves and fall down and get back up again. And we've heard all of those different ideas, all those different ways that, the metaphors that are created, those examples that were given, we've heard them. How often do we hear them? Oh, there's a lot of people out there speaking about this stuff because we're all learning and we are all continuing to experience these things, and we all have those times when we put ourselves on hold. Whether it's related to something that's happening out there, and we need to do that, or we just put ourselves on hold. Because we're not ready to deal with it. We're not in a place to, whatever the story is, whatever the ideas that we have, we're just not quite ready to do that. But that part of you is still there. And is probably very ready to come back out and be a part of your world again. Now that's a wonderful thing right there. That ability to be able to regain those things. How much time do I have left? 5. Let's do an exercise. This is an imagination exercise. Anybody here ever go on a teeter-totter? Yeah. Just about everybody has done that. And imagine that you're there. You can imagine yourself being whatever age you want. Even who you are and what you are right now. Go up and be on that teeter-totter. And what a great thing. And it always starts out with somebody down there on the ground. But you know what? When you're down on the ground, you kind of have some control over what's happening, don't you? You got that person up in the air, and they're stuck up there until you let them We always have options. Now imagine you start to lift up from the ground and you rise up, and there you are up in the air. Yes, freedom, I'm here, ta-da! And all those thoughts that come into your mind when you are a child and you are on that teeter-totter. Yes, I can fly. Woo! This is great. What happens if that person doesn't push up and let you back down? Okay, this is getting a little boring. Come on. The teeter-totter is wonderful when it's in movement. And we go through the teeter-totter. We go to both sides. We can be the one holding things together and have that strength and everything. We can also have that holding our breath moment. But the wonderful thing with life is that it flows, just like that teeter-totter going up and down. And I'll use this idea sometimes when I get caught up in something in my mind, and it's like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what the answer is. I will put it on a teeter-totter. And I might be out there walking my dog, and I feel like I'm on the teeter-totter. Yes. And I'm back down, and whoa, I'm in control. And yes, and float back up again. You can utilize exercises like this. It frees up the mind. It gets you out of that critical part that says, oh, you're not going to do that. You can't. No, you can't. That's not a good idea. That part that tells you, this is probably not the right thing for you to do. I don't know. I don't think that's going to turn out very well. That critical part of the mind is there to protect you from things that are brand new. And that's what it'll do. It'll say, this doesn't fit in my world. I got a book. I got not just a book, I got a library full of all these experiences. And this doesn't fit in. Use your imagination. It will help you to get out of that mindset, that stopping point, so that you can have that flow, that you can have that teeter-totter, and you can have those ups and downs. And guess what? Even with the ups and downs, we still have one hell of a ride, don't we? On one side, we can create all sorts of things, those things that flow. And that's what I love about the teeter-totter, is getting that flow happening, getting that constant momentum. And we can do things like creating communities like we have here today. And it's wonderful. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending the time here and staying for my talk, the last talk of the day. Yeah. And sometimes things don't work out quite the way that we wanted them to. But we have resources. And one thing that's beautiful about those opposites is we got a great big world out there. It's huge. Look at how many people there are out there, and there are opinions about what I should do, and there's people that say that you can do this and this and fix it, and all of these things out there. But you know what? As big as that world is that's out there, look inside. I'll bet you got an even bigger world on the inside. And you have all those aspects. You have that breath. And you can take that breath and you can hold it for as long as you want or as long as you can. But you can also have that reset. give yourself a chance to regain your momentum, to think things through, and it can happen in that split second that you can have a complete change. And you can give in that moment a wonderful chance for your body to relax and renew. Everybody, let's just take a breath and I'd like to thank you for being here today. Now, up here on this lovely, I love this shot. That is a real place that I go to. I love it. You don't always get that wonderful sunset, but it's a beautiful place. That's down near Tobruk, and it's a favorite place. But we don't have up there. I'm Safe Haven Hypnosis, and I'm here to work with people on those patterns that we get into, that we kind of lock those things into our minds sometimes, and it's sometimes difficult when you are on the inside to see the options that you have. We get into those things, those patterns, so that we hold our breath and we compensate for things, and next thing you know, we're so deep into it that we don't see the way out. And that's okay, because we're in a big world, and we got a lot of support out here. We got a lot of people that we can turn to and connect with. Look around this room, we've got a lot of very capable hypnotists and resources in so many different directions. Faith, just one example there. Oh my gosh, I was writing down what her project is, and it's like, yes, I want to be a part of that. I want to contribute, and I want to share that. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you taking the time.